My first act after reincarnating as a serpent unexpectedly involved me entangled with a blue snake. Furthermore, I utilized my innate mind-reading skill and discovered the blue snake was the Dragon Palace Empress reincarnated to start anew. Right now, she was plotting to flay me alive in the future, just as I felt utterly hopeless about my serpent life. Unexpectedly, I awakened the 100-fold return system. Any gifts or benefits given to the target are returned to me 100-fold. Without a moment's hesitation, I immediately chose to bind her as my target. A brand new binding interface materialized before my eyes. I turned my head sharply towards the direction of the cave. Drooling as if seeing a priceless treasure, I gazed upon her as if she were a unique and precious jewel. The blue snake suddenly shivered intensely. This perverted worm, what is he looking at me for? Murong Wange glared back defiantly, gritting her teeth. My reincarnation was a last resort, forced upon me. Blame the heavenly court for pushing me too far. They went so far as to set a heaven-spanning net. Even though I fought desperately for a sliver of life, I still had to abandon my physical body. I thought with my former Empress cultivation realm, I could quickly match my previous life's power and lead the Dragon Clan to retaliate. Who knew a tiger fallen on the plain is bullied by dogs? But at that very moment, my massive form crawled directly towards her. Murong Wange felt a wave of terror. What is this pervert trying to do now? Seeing me get closer and closer, her blue body trembled slightly. Who would have guessed I did not even glance at her and simply slithered away into the mountain forest? This world actually has a heavenly court. I temporarily set that thought aside though. No matter what, filling my stomach is the real priority right now. A serpent's innate powerful sense of smell and heat detection allows me to easily sense any movement of living creatures. Within a kilometer radius, when I reappeared at the entrance of the cave, my mouth held a good amount of prey. Two sharp venomous fangs in my jaws exuded a terrifyingly potent toxin. Even the most powerful beast would be reduced to a pile of mush, if touched by even a little. Seeing me return, Murong Wange, who was curled up on a reef, visibly flinched, instinctively coiling her serpent body tightly. She had tried to escape earlier, but the injuries to this body were too severe. Even with all her effort, she could barely keep the wound stable from worsening further. Seeing the food, Murong Wange subconsciously gulped, watching me swallow a lion whole in a few bites. Murong Wange was nearly drooling with envy, but the pride of the Dragon Palace Empress would not let her show any sign of begging. Still putting on airs, huh? I gripped the prey with my fangs and tossed my head, sending a brown bear landing right in front of Murong Wange. Her serpent eyes widened in complete shock. This is for me? Very well then. This Empress will try a bite. Once this Empress regains her power, that will be the end for you, foul worm. Murong Wange opened her maw wide and tore into the bear's body with one bite, but the ferocity in her chewing made it seem she imagined the bear was the pervert nearby. My face fell instantly. Damn, this girl has a persecution complex, right? Congratulations, host. 100-fold return reward acquired. Danger detection sense. Congratulations, host. 100-fold return reward acquired. Super olfactory sense. Congratulations, host. 100-fold return reward acquired. Super auditory sense. A constant stream of prompts flashed before my eyes. Once the notification stopped, a status panel appeared in my vision. I narrowed my eyes, scanning the abilities section quickly. This 100-fold return is truly a miraculous cheat. Truly a cultivation big shot. One bear gave back so much. Without a second thought, I bit into the prey before me, tossing an elk with a flick of my head to Murong Wange. Landing right in front of her, she was currently focused on digesting the food she had just eaten. With her earlier shame and anger as a baseline, Murong Wange accepted without refusal, opening her maw wide and swallowing the food into her belly. A delightful stream of system prompts sounded in my ears. I grinned from ear to ear. I dared not delay, and went out hunting again. For 3 or 4 days straight, things flying in the sky, running on the ground, swimming in the water, any living creature in the mountains that moved, barely escaped my fangs and coils. The beasts I brought back mostly ended up in Murong Wange's stomach. I watched as her scales grew brighter. Even her serpent form thickened a bit. I could even feel from her a powerful biological pressure emanating strongly, as if she had been reborn anew. This is truly monstrous, I muttered under my breath. But inwardly I was wildly ecstatic. These past few days, Murong Wange healed rapidly, and I, the beneficiary, profited enormously. Ding! Detected a change in the mindset of bound target. Dragon Palace Empress Murong Wange. Intimacy increased by 1 point. Intimacy. The connection value between host and bound target. Higher values yield better. 100-fold return rewards. Note, if intimacy reaches 0, the binding relationship will dissolve immediately. Detected host and return target intimacy has surpassed 1. Synthesis option now unlocking. Host may choose to synthesize abilities for first evolution. What am I waiting for? Synthesize. Instantly, a Bagua furnace appearing on the interface, ignited with roaring flames. I watched intently. As the common grade abilities gained these days, we're all tossed inside. Ding. Synthesis successful. Congratulations, host. Spirit grade ability obtained. King of Beasts. My eyes sparkled. Immediately, a scorching heat rose from between my brows. For a moment, the searing wave at my forehead felt like it would break through my skull. The sudden, intense pain made me want to roar in agony. The heat between my brows gradually concentrated, forming a sharp, protruding bulge. My original 30-meter-long body expanded rapidly, growing much thicker than before. Even the sensitivity of bone conduction greatly increased. My delight was evident on my face. I then looked towards a small hill not far from the cave, transformed into a streak of light, opened my massive maw, and tore towards the hill. The next second, the small hill was actually pierced straight through. At the same time, Murong Wange, who was coiled by the cave, digesting her food, woke up, but her breath hitched. Could it be the heavenly soldiers pursuing this empress? She hadn't expected, upon looking up, to see a nearby hill shatter and collapse. A 60-meter-long, silvery white giant serpent, coiled atop the broken rocks. How could it be him? A look of shock flashed in Murong Wange's serpent eyes. Such destructive power is already not inferior to a spirit species that has just glimpsed the immortal path. Damn it. Murong Wange felt a tightness in her chest. Suddenly, Murong Wange saw the horn growing on my brow. Her pupils contracted sharply. So that's it. He actually has dragon bloodline, but that means little. Now that this empress has recovered from her injuries, as long as I cultivate the dragon clan techniques anew, I will definitely leave you far behind. When that time comes, even if I don't kill you, I'll ride you daily as my personal steed. Murong Wange knew well the truth of her reincarnation. Could not escape heaven's notice. They would certainly try to eliminate her completely. I must grow strong rapidly within that time frame to have any chance of survival. Unfortunately, mortal beasts are ultimately mundane. For this empress to resume cultivation, I still need demonic inner cores to assist. Murong Wange suppressed the fury in her heart. Unaware her thoughts were heard by me, word for word. My jaw stiffened, and I started cursing internally. Damn, still planning to ride me like a horse. Is this girl crazy? What happened to the increased intimacy? I shook my head, opened the status panel, and grinned widely. This must be the Dragon Clan inheritance Murong Wange mentioned. My gaze returned to Murong Wange. Looks like to keep getting stronger. I need to figure out how to get her some demon cores. Murong Wange felt a chill under my intense stare. Filthy pervert, what are you looking at? Look again. And believe me, I'll gouge your eyes out. My heart skipped a beat. Damn, I just looked at her. And she wants to gouge my eyes. With a temper like that, no wonder she got tricked into reincarnating. I turned and headed towards the dense mountain forest. Before advancing to spirit species rank, I dared not get close to the forest depths. Every approach filled me with primal fear. Upon entering this place, I immediately felt the energy here was special. This energy entering my body continuously tempered my serpent form. My eyes lit up instantly. I immediately raised my head and rapidly absorbed the surrounding energy. Just at that moment, I suddenly heard a bird's cry. I looked up to see a large bird diving rapidly towards me. My body twisted swiftly. The moment the bird's claws descended, I successfully dodged. The ground where I rested instantly had a large crater. Seeing this scene, my scales tingled with fear. If those claws had landed on me, I'd be in several pieces. The bird, seeing its strike miss, immediately flew towards me to pounce again. I swiftly turned my serpent body, retreating fast. What kind of bird is this? It's so ferocious. Ding. Host encountered a Tier 2 snake hunting bird. System detects Murong Wange needs a demon core to cultivate. Gifting this demon core to Murong Wange will grant an additional special reward. My eyes lit up instantly, but soon fell again. The extra reward is tempting, but this bird is too fierce. I can't win in a straight fight, but I'm not stupid. And I'm not a pure serpent. If force can't beat the snake hunting bird, can't I outsmart it instead? I looked around quickly, and immediately had a plan. I actively challenged the snake hunting bird in the sky. With a provoking hiss, the bird was instantly enraged, letting out an angry cry, then fiercely pounced towards me. I quickly moved towards the vine-covered area ahead. Several times I barely dodged in time, avoiding the bird's grasp. The bird dove rapidly towards me again. Waiting until it was close enough, I suddenly twisted sideways. The speeding bird landed directly in the complex tangle of vines. Trapped by the vines, it couldn't immediately take flight again. A hint of a smile rose in my heart. Stupid bird, you're done for now. I slowly approached the trapped bird. Suddenly, I felt a powerful force, crushing down on me from all sides. For a moment, I nearly collapsed to the ground. What is this thing so strong? I looked up at the bird again, and saw it was getting more tightly bound by the vines. But recalling that strange force earlier, I felt some concern. Right, I have an ability now. King of Beasts, as a sharp cry echoed through the forest. Countless birds and beasts fled in fright. The snake-hunting bird also shrieked in terror. Your life is mine. The giant serpent bit off the bird's head in one bite. Ding! Congratulations, host, for successfully hunting Tier 2 demon beast.
Snake hunting bird. Reward, 1 dragon scale.
Host may place the dragon scale anywhere on your body. As a defensive measure, next second, a floating dragon scale appeared before me, exuding waves of dragon might, making me somewhat wary. I'll place it over my heart then. Lest Murong Wange tries to assassinate me someday. The dragon scale instantly appeared over my 7-inch weak point. A flash of light gleamed on the scale. Then it vanished, fully merging with my body, becoming a part of me. Soon my attention returned to the bird corpse. Where is the demon core? I thought for a moment. What if the core melts in my mouth? I'll let it stay in the body for now. I slithered through the dense forest, wary of encountering another snake-hunting bird. What is that scent? Wait, no. It's a richer spiritual energy. Let me check it out. If I really stumble upon something good, wouldn't that be a jackpot? In minutes, I saw its true form. A pond of water. Wispy white mist rose from the pond's surface, then dispersed around it. Spiritual energy condensing into mist. Ah, I exclaimed in surprise, unable to suppress my excitement. This is hitting the jackpot. But that exclamation carried, and a heart-stopping aura appeared. I instinctively retreated several meters. A jet of water shot from the pond. An aura of destruction emanated. The water jet missed, but struck a giant tree nearby. The tree collapsed with a crash. That was close. Time to run. This aura felt much stronger than the snake-hunting bird. I ran for an unknown time, finally daring to stop and catch my breath. No, I'm still not strong enough. I'll come back when I'm more powerful. And check it out then. I took several deep breaths, calming the panic in my heart, then returned to the cave. I tossed the bird I'd been carrying in front of Murong Wange. A snake-hunting bird? Wait. Murong Wange examined the bird carefully. A flash of caution in her eyes. Her tongue flicked out, burrowed into the flesh, and extracted a walnut-sized demon core. This is a demon core. Murong Wange snapped her head up, staring at me in disbelief. You have a good thing, eat it quickly. Are you stupid? She eats, I get the bonus. I gave the female snake a cold glance, returned to my resting spot, and lay down. Murong Wange arched her upper body, then tossed the core up and swallowed it in one gulp. He has absolute strength. For someone of his level, trying to kill me with some underhanded trick is impossible. The core should be safe. Before she could think further, the demonic energy within the core activated. A long mist comfort spread through her body. This made Murong Wange very happy. An unknown amount of time passed. Murong Wange opened her eyes again. She excitedly examined her own form. He just wanted me to eat it? Or was he making me test it for poison? Never mind. Time reveals all truths. Murong Wange shook her head and stopped overthinking. She swallowed the bird's body whole. In the distance, I snorted lightly. Time reveals all truths, huh? Even if you asked me, I wouldn't go. Maybe after you can take human form. Ding. Murong Wange consumed a demon core. 100-fold return activated. Murong Wange's favor towards host increased by 1 point. Murong Wange's favorability towards host is now 2. Are you serious? 1 demon core only gives 1 point. Before I could ponder further, my internal energy surged again. My body grew several times larger. Congratulations, host, for becoming a tier 1 demon beast. I felt the immense power coursing through my entire being. Good heavens. How did he just lie there and become a ranked demon beast? Murong Wange was utterly dumbfounded. I thought to myself with pride, see that? Aren't you dazzled? With my protection, this reborn empress is bound to soar high. He's grown so large. What if he tries to force himself? I wouldn't need to kill myself. I'd just burst apart. I stared at her in disbelief. What kind of outrageous talk is that? An empress saying such things. Even if you were interested, I'm certainly not. All right. Murong Wange stared at the silver serpent. Forget it, no point thinking. He must have had some encounter outside. Next time he goes out, I must follow him. His progress is clearly faster than mine. How will I ever get revenge for that humiliation then? My body brimmed with abundant power. I began to move, slowly slithering out of the cave. I couldn't go too fast. Lest the empress gets lost and cries, a good chance, follow him. Murong Wange hurriedly moved her own body, but she found her crawling speed was too slow. Murong Wange gritted her teeth and muttered, "You dog servant, wait until this empress returns to her peak. I'll specially get a leash to walk you." Hearing the little snake call me a dog servant, I immediately picked up speed. In the blink of an eye, I was 100 meters away. Murong Wange grew anxious. Running so fast, afraid I'll take your good stuff? You miser, you stingy worm. She helplessly hung her head in defeat, just as Murong Wange prepared to give up and turned to go back to the cave. A familiar aura appeared not far from her. My serpent tail presented itself before her, indicating she should climb on. I have now successfully transformed from a little white snake at the mercy of the reborn empress into a parasitic serpent. As long as I have the system, I can always stay one step ahead of Murong Wange. Murong Wange's eyes widened, staring at me in disbelief. She did not hesitate, climbing up my tail and onto my back in an instant. Murong Wange straightened her upper body on my head, basking in the sunlight, feeling very content. In the mountain forest, a silver-white giant serpent slithered rapidly. No birds or beasts dared approach its path. Soon, the 2 snakes entered the dense forest. A roar sounded from afar, like a shockwave, making the snakes tremble. Murong Wange couldn't help but exclaim, but I showed no trace of panic. Narrowing my eyes towards the source, a gorilla, a dark shadow leaped over from the distance, its tier 1 demon beast strength fully exposed. A mere tier 1 beast dares show off before an expert. Before the gorilla even landed, I took the initiative to attack first, opening my massive maw to launch a fierce assault. The gorilla's body swelled, pounding its chest. Seeing the white serpent dare to attack first, its eyes instantly turned blood red, swinging its boulder like iron fists, smashing towards the white serpent. But the white giant serpent was faster. Before the fist could land, I twisted my head aside. My head landed on the gorilla's arm, coiling around it and entangling the opponent. Perish now, using all the strength in my body to crush it. The gorilla, squeezed by immense force, couldn't help but roar to the heavens, its bones creaking under the pressure. Feeling the gorilla's heartbeat cease completely, I finally released it. Murong Wange appeared calm as an old dog on the surface, but internally her mind was blown. Both tier 1 demon beasts, yet he killed it in one move. With this level of power, I could give him a backdoor job polishing my shoes, and no one would dare question it. I inwardly scoffed with disdain. A serpent with a system like me outclasses you by 800 streets. After releasing the gorilla, I signaled the little green snake to consume the demon core. Murong Wange was stunned for a moment, even feeling a trace of disbelief. What is this loach planning now? Is he going to make me eat another demon core? Perhaps the first core wasn't a poison test, but the white serpent saw I was too weak, and specially got it for me to cultivate. Is this loach really that good? He's probably trying to trick me into bearing his children. Murong Wange's eyes flickered uncertainly, many thoughts flashing through. But she suppressed them all. After all, a demon core was right there. Not eating it would be a waste. Better to strengthen my own power first. Hearing her thoughts, I felt speechless. A woman's heart is an ocean deep, especially this one, originally a road that often stayed at the ocean's bottom. It's an abyss. After a brief moment of thought, Murong Wange's body grew slightly, then stabilized. Murong Wange consumed a tier 1 demon core. Congratulations, host. Obtained skill. Divine Chef. Divine Chef. What a splendid Divine Chef. I looked at my own body. I don't even have hands to cook with. No rush. I'll wait to accumulate a few more skills, and then synthesize another ability. The 2 snakes continued deeper, then encountered a tier 1 black wolf, also easily slain by me. When Murong Wange consumed the second tier 1 demon core, the system's voice sounded again. Ding, reminder to host. Murong Wange still needs 1 tier 2 demon core to successfully advance to tier 1 demon beast. What? 2 tier 1 cores plus 2 tier 2 cores, just to become a single tier 1 beast. What kind of consumption is this? I can't afford this. I took a deep breath. At the same time, Murong Wange finished absorbing the 2 tier 1 cores. Her entire aura changed, becoming sharper and more powerful. After consuming these 3 cores, this empress's power has greatly increased. This loach does good work. I'll reluctantly grant him a lackey position in the future. Murong Wange was in a great mood, bribed with 3 cores and only gets a lackey spot. Just you wait. When you can take human form, one day, sooner or later, no. Morning and night, one each, no, that's not right. Looking around, I found we had unknowingly returned near that spiritual pond. Last time I couldn't win, let's test the waters again now. I will wash away the shame. I immediately hissed twice. Turning to head deeper towards the spiritual pond, I was very excited. The spiritual energy is so rich and dense. If I could cultivate here every day, my cultivation speed would advance 1,000 miles a day, feeling the familiar long-missed spiritual energy around. She didn't waste time thinking, immediately coiled her body, and frantically operated her cultivation technique, gulping down large mouthfuls of spiritual energy. I arrived at a spot not far from the spiritual pond. King of Beasts, I activated the ability first, necessary to suppress the unknown beast with the first strike, but the water surface remained eerily calm. Just as I got closer to the unnaturally still pond, a mass of bubbles churned forth. I suddenly felt a chill down my spine. A killing intent had locked onto me. Not good. I swiftly turned and unleashed all my power. Beginning to flee with all my might, a jet of water shot from the pond, tracing a graceful arc in the air, landed precisely where I had just been. That was close. What is in that water? To be so vicious. Seeing the water jet easily crater the ground, my heart pounded wildly. Ding. Host encountered Tier 3 Demon Beast. Golden Toad. System detects a deep pond in the vicinity. If used to nurture Murongwange, it will certainly increase her cultivation speed. I ran while glancing back, and saw a golden toad, peeking from below the pond. Holy shit, a yellow Tier 3 toad, followed by several more attacks. Extremely fierce. Just as I escaped, panting heavily, mistakenly thinking I was safe, another water jet fell, ruthlessly striking my abdomen. Immense pain swept through my whole body.